Alright, welcome, I'm Michaela, and look, I told you I could keep up with the new schedule. Today's drawing is a colored sketch of Amber from Genshin Impact. It was originally going to be a fully inked and rendered piece, but things did not go according to plan, which is part of the reasoning for the title and topic of this video, Giving Up. When I first started on this, I had wanted to do a whole series where I drew each of the characters I've managed to get so far, because if you didn't know, Genshin is a gacha game, so not only are the characters you get based on chance, but so is whether or not you get a character at all, or if you get one of the weapons for said characters. Amber was up first because even if I do not remember the order for all of my characters, you always get her first because she's a freebie. I had a strong vision for what I wanted to do, and yes, for those who play, I noticed the vision pun, but I'm not taking it out, you can't make me. Anyway, sometimes it makes it a lot easier when I have the full idea in mind. I love the concept of drawing Amber being framed by the fire from her bow, it just sounds cool. I did sit down to work on this once before, although I did not save the recording because after 5 or 6 tries I was just too frustrated that I couldn't get the pose right. I wanted to just stop and come back at it with a fresh mind in hand, so in other words I stopped attempting for like a month or two. It wasn't exactly giving up at this point. In my mind I was just rusty and needed more references that were closer to what I wanted. When I did come back to try again, I gathered up a bunch of pictures beforehand and even made one using the 3D models from Clip Studio so that I could get as close to the pose in my head as I could. It is actually the first time I've ever had to try to use them. I knew the pose was at a slight angle so there'd be a small amount of perspective work in it. However, I've been getting better at that, so I believed I could manage it since it was rather basic. I mean, I did really good with the body if I do say so myself, but overall I was wrong. The bow and arrow are so flat and it just really changes how everything fits together. Everything else is in the correct perspective besides them. Bow and arrows are just not something I tend to draw. If this would have been for a commission instead, I would have spent the whole day drawing and getting used to them before I even started. But I thought that since this was just for fun because I loved the game that it would be fine. The whole time working on this though, I just felt like I was fighting with my art. Playing it back is so weird because it doesn't necessarily reflect as such. Like yeah, there are a few times it shows me redo things, her face and one of her arms for example, but you can't really get someone's mindset from watching an emotionless playback. This was drawn and recorded a few months ago while I was still in school, and probably running away from classwork at the time. Do not worry, I did graduate, and I now have a degree in digital media. Anyway, I was in my portfolio class this summer, so I feel like the stress from that was like subconsciously bleeding over into this drawing. Amber doesn't look near as bad as what I was telling myself at the time, but even if I did get something relatively good in the end, I don't really think it was worth it. So instead of trudging on ahead and continuing to make myself miserable, I just gave up, decided it was good enough, and threw some colors on it. I had figured out how to draw fire about a year prior to this, but I didn't even do that. I just used one of the brushes from Clip Studio. Listen, I know I've worked hard and I'm good at art, and this isn't actually that bad. I just have some high standards when it comes to my art, I guess. I don't know. It feels like anytime you hear advice, it's to just not give up, and no one seems to think about, like, when you should. Obviously don't bail out of important stuff, don't ditch people you care about, but everyone has their limits and they change almost day to day. No amount of force can change that. It can even make it worse if you're not careful. Burnout sucks and you don't want to entice that for something that doesn't matter. So yeah, I gave up on this and I didn't draw anything for like 2 weeks. And I came back and drew a picture of the Totally Spies girls and had fun doing it. There was no way I was going to focus on poses so soon, so I looked up some promotional art and did my best to recreate those poses. I didn't record my process because I didn't want the stress of thinking that I might post it. I only wanted to make art that I liked. I even did my best to design outfits for them that fit the kind of style that they might wear nowadays. It was so nice to go back to just enjoying my art, you know. I think I was just too stuck in my head with this drawing of Amber. The Totally Spies drawing will be in the description below if you want to check it out. If I'm still on this channel in 5 years, which like hopefully I am, remind me of this piece and I'll do a redraw. I think I would do a good job on it regardless of my headspace by then. Also, I know in my last video I mentioned that I wouldn't be working on Cassandra and Oliver's story currently, and instead I'd be working on the webtoon with my character Drew that has the working title of Conservation. I don't consider that giving up. Moreover, I'm just switching gears so that I don't give up on it, because it's a story that I hold close to me and I'd hate to drop it for real just because I'm too worried about doing it right. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't work on Conservation if I didn't love it and wanted to do the idea justice. But I started working on Cass and Oliver's story while I was still in high school. Maybe I'm just rehashing things I said in that last video, but I feel like it kind of fits with what I'm saying now. Maybe you do consider giving up. But if it is, then at least it seems there are different degrees of giving up. Can't say it wasn't warranted though. But like, what do you think? Have you ever had to force yourself to quit working on something? You ever realize you should have but didn't? For now, I've just been trying to get into sketching digitally more. I think it would help me if I did feel pressured to finish every digital art piece I do. I've never cared that much about finishing every sketch in my sketchbook, and I only finish and clean up the ones that I actually enjoy. It's definitely a healthier approach, I think. The other day I did a few doodles of how I would draw Spider-Man out of costume. You know, good old regular Peter Parker, as if I were to be in charge of a series for him. It's probably too detailed of a design for a cartoon, but I made myself not care about any of that. It was nice. Also, I gave him blue glasses because his shirt was like this orange-red color, so I felt like it hinted at his whole secret identity thing, without actually being like in your face or obvious. I feel weird describing my art without showing it, but I'm enjoying keeping this one to myself. Maybe in a few months from now I'll do a cleaned up version or do a bunch of sketches with him and his villains. Jumping off of that, I'm going to go off on a little side tangent before I finish the video. I recently got the first 2 Venomnibus, which is a hard thing to say, and I just want to say that I don't think Eddie's crop tops will make it into the upcoming Venom 2 movie. If it turns out I'm wrong, I'd say come back and correct me, but there's a significant chance I will know before you. Though props to you if you manage to see it before me. Also, reading them makes certain parts of the first Venom movie better, even if they've definitely changed a bunch for said movie. I've just always loved the symbiotes, and I also refuse to recognize the new name given to them. I actually have much more to say about the current Venom run, which by the time this uploads will have recently ended, but I have elected to refrain. Anyway, that should be all I have to say for now. I upload on the 1st and 15th of every month, so if you like this video and want to stick around, you can subscribe, or at the very least leave a like and comment for the almighty YouTube algorithm. God, I hate saying algorithm. Anyway, if you saw this for some odd reason, wanted me to draw you something in specific, I've got a link to my commissions in the description. Thanks for watching, and farewell.